My name is Kurt Anderson. I'm the Senior Director of International Recruitment and Partnerships at San Jose State. I'm also joined by Perinaz Zartoshti, who is the Director of our International Student and Scholar Services, which serves our international students, and by Dr. Yasser Deshouki, who's the Department Chair of Industrial and Systems Engineering. And we also have other guests from the department that we will be turning to as we go through the presentation. And perhaps Dr. Dasuki will introduce them as we get to them. So I want to talk just a little bit before we get into things about what we're going to be doing here. We're going to talk just briefly about what the Way to San Jose program is all about. Then I'll turn it over to Dr. Dasuki for descriptions of the departments that you've applied for and been admitted to. Then we'll have some frequently asked questions of international students and other kinds of issues such as visa status, CPT, etc. That will be addressed by Perinaz Zartushti, as well as some information about orientation. And then we'll shift into live question and answers, where we will answer your questions after the presentations. So before we start, please remember that you are automatically muted for the whole session. This program is being recorded, and we will give you a link to the presentation slide deck, and they'll be shared with you a little bit later. Please send your questions at any time you like in one paragraph to the Q&A box that's usually at the bottom of your screen, not the chat box, but the Q&A box. Okay, shall we get started? So this is all part of an initiative that the university is doing called the Way to San Jose, which is basically a way to provide a pathway for admitted graduate students in our top degrees to come to the university in the fall, mainly through taking online courses and being able to kind of ride out the COVID-19 situation and then join the university proper, travel to California and come to the campus for the spring semester, spring 2021. One of the hallmarks of this degree is that you would take 9 units online, but you would be able to do it from your own home. So you wouldn't have to get an I-20, you wouldn't have to worry about traveling, which is particularly challenging these days, or have to deal with finding housing or paying for it. You would be provided a full online orientation. You'd have the exact same advising services you would have if you were on campus. And the courses will be presented in a way so that you'll have access to faculty live, and you'll be interacting with them directly. But some of the courses will be recorded and other things will be presented in ways that you'll be able to access the materials at times that are convenient to you. Because you won't be housing and living in the San Jose area, which of course is Silicon Valley and somewhat expensive, we estimate that by taking those 9 units online from your home, you'll probably save about $10,000 in living expenses in the fall semester. Again, with the expectation that this is just an on-ramp to you starting your time with us on campus in the spring. And we'll have advisors that will help you decide what 9 units of online courses you might be able to take. And as the department slides are presented to you, you might get some ideas also as to what some of those courses might be. So having presented you the frame of this, allow me to turn it over to Dr. Yasser Deshouki, who will tell you about his Department of Industrial and Systems Engineering.
Thank you, Kurt. Today I also have joining me Dr. Jacob Sao, who looks like he may be in India right now, and Dr. Mini Mittal. Dr. Jacob Sao will actually be your point of contact if you're pursuing the Masters of Industrial Systems Engineering, and Dr. Mini Patel will be your point of contact if you're pursuing the Masters of Engineering Management. We've also invited some alumni to attend the meeting, and I'll have Dr. Mini Patel introduce them at that time. First, thank you very much for taking the time from your busy schedules to get some information about San Jose State, and more specifically about our department, Industrial Systems Engineering program. Our department, we have about over 550 students, and as you can see, most of them are, 3/5 of them are graduate students, which is as of yourselves. The reason because that is because we have 3 distinct master's degrees: Masters of ISE, Masters of Engineering Management, and Masters of Human Factors. Now, most of you are from the first 2. We have 8 full-time faculty, and we actually hired someone else this year. And as Kurt introduced me, I'm Yasser Dasuki, the department chair. Because of the nature of our business, our faculty have projects and have worked across all sectors: manufacturing, especially semiconductor industry, the healthcare industry, especially the urgency of the situation we're in now. We've done a lot of work in transportations and supply chains and biometrics and numerous other industries. Because what we teach our students is a set of tools, whether it's the engineering management degree or industrial systems engineering. And these tools can really be applied across multiple domains. So you're going to see in one of our latter slides, our students work across all different sectors as the research is. And also that's reflected from the research funding from our faculty. And we also have a very strong alumni network. We've had several alumni events, and we've had over 100 participants, and also from our master's programs, not just our undergraduate programs who've attended our programs. Next slide, please. So just a quick thing. As you can see in our department on the chair, and we have 3 master's programs. And what you're going to meet today with is Dr. Jacob Sao, the Masters of ISE, and Dr. Mini Patel with the Engineering Management. More specifically, the ISE degree really is geared more, if I can just say, the difference between the MSI, ISE, and the Engineering Management in a very brief way is we've sort of changed our ISE degree to be more analytics-based. So if that's your focus and you like doing math, then you want to learn about machine learning and those type of problems and across multiple domains, then the MSISE degree is more for you. Whereas the engineering management side focuses more on process improvement and its relationship to businesses' processes. Thank you. Next slide, please. So our master's program, you have to take 30 units to graduate from any master's degree at San Jose State. You have 4 core courses where one of them includes your master's project. That's your capstone work. And 3 courses which we believe set the foundations analytically for you to complete the rest of your work. One is an advanced OR, one is a mathematical quality course, and the other one is analytics for systems engineering, where you learn Python and R and other techniques in there to do analysis for sophisticated complex systems. Now, the way our program is organized with the MSISE is you have 4 specialty areas. Now, with that being said, I would say about over 95% of our students take the first 2, which is the production quality. If you do this specialty area, then you'll be able to get our Black Belt certificate. And the other one, just as popular, is our supply chain. And that's also reflective on the type of jobs the graduates of this degree get. And we also have a 3rd, which might be growing, we're developing it further, is the healthcare and service systems engineering. And we have a human factors one, which you may ask why, because the other Masters of Human Factors degree is different. That one is a multidiscipline degree, whereas this is an engineering degree with an emphasis of human factors. And you're also allowed 2 electives approved by the faculty advisor. Next, please. As I said previously, the engineering management focuses on quality and process improvement with Six Sigma, some statistics, and the rest would be from the business fundamentals, business accounting, finance, and engineering economics. This is a very good degree if you have a specialized undergraduate engineering degree that gives you a broad perspective of managing an engineering organization. Next slide, please. Now, unlike our industrial and systems engineering degree, there's only one track with the engineering management, where you have your financial courses, your engineering and systems engineering courses, and also your Six Sigma and Lean courses in there, which give you a broad understanding of continuous improvement and the relationships of managing projects. With that then being said, you have 4 courses where you can select some electives. And typically there's 2 paths to this, where you take 1 ISE elective with 3 MBA courses, or you take 2 ISE electives with 2 MBA courses. And there's some flexibility on the type of business courses you can take. And I believe that ends my brief description of our programs now. And I look forward, myself and my colleagues, to answer any questions you may have at the end of this presentation. Very briefly, this is just a quick list to emphasize our students, have been getting jobs. Obviously, we're in a different environment now, but I suspect once things get back to steady state, you're going to see the same type of diversity among the employers of our students because of the nature of our degree. And this is just a highlight of our students' internships. We actually have some very well results and posters of how our alumni progress through the different industries in the Silicon Valley. Thank you.
Hey, so just to introduce myself again, my name is Karina Zartashi. I'm the Director of International Student and Scholar Services. So we are here to support all of our F1 students with regard to their immigration status, as well as provide programming to support you during your tenure here at SJSU. So I just wanted to go over the F1 immigration regulations just briefly. As I know most of our students are very well educated in this area, F1 students need to be enrolled full-time, and the courses need to be in person, with the exception that under normal circumstances, you can enroll in only 1 online course. For graduate students, that means 9 units each semester with potentially 1 online course. However, due to COVID-19, as you can imagine, spring 2020, the Student and Exchange Visitor Program allowed for an exception for all online classes for all of our F1 students, so they continue to maintain their status. As of now, for fall 2020, the plans are for SJSU to go online with some hybrid classes, and we're awaiting further guidance from the Student and Exchange Visitor Program to see if they will make another exception for fall 2020. So this would apply to those of you who are actually in the country in the United States and may have done a CVIS transfer to us from a different institution. Maybe you're doing a change of status within the country. So you really have to be physically inside the United States for this to pertain to you. And just as a reminder, registration for fall does open up on June 15th. And I encourage all of you to register regardless of whether or not you're in the United States or outside of the United States. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in the next slide, please. Okay, so all of you have been accepted and you should have received an I-20 from San Jose State with a start date of August. Now, as you're aware, most consulates and embassies around the world are shut down. I hear some of them are opening up for visa appointments, perhaps in China. India, I believe, is giving appointments way into the future, and we are keeping track of those appointment times. So what I encourage all of you to do is to go ahead and pay your CVIS fee, because even if you're not able to enter the United States in the fall, we would be able to do a CVIS deferral. So what that would mean is we would change your I-20 start date to January. However, I do encourage you to, even if you're in your home country, to enroll in your online courses. And then hopefully once travel restrictions are lifted, the consulates and embassies open up, you're able to enter the United States and join us in January 2021. The other thing to keep in mind, I know some students have this question, is some students are eager. You know, they paid the CVSP, they've paid the DS-160 application fee for the visa interview process. Keep in mind that the DS-160 application fee is valid for 1 year. So do not panic if you've already paid that, don't worry about it. If you haven't paid for it, I would encourage you to wait a little bit until you're more certain about what is happening around the world. So the other burning question for our students is, if I take online classes from my home country in fall 2020, when will I become eligible for CPT? So the Student and Exchange Visitor Program has established some criteria and some guidance saying that you need to be in CVIS active status in order to be eligible for CPT. So you actually need to enter the United States, and for CPT and OPT eligibility, you need to be in full-time F1 status for 1 academic year or 2 terms. So what that would mean is, let's hypothetically assume that you are going to be taking online classes in the fall from your home country, and then you're successful in the visa interview process and you're able to join us in January 2021. At that point, for spring 2021, you would enroll in 9 units to maintain your full-time status. During the summer, you could be enrolled full-time, and what is considered full-time in the summer is 6 units because it is a shorter period of time. So if you do full-time spring, full-time summer, by fall 2021, you will be eligible for CPT from an immigration standpoint. Now remember, you have to meet the criteria on the academic side as well. If you do not enroll full-time in summer, you do full-time spring 2021, full-time fall 2021. By spring 2022, you will be eligible for CPT. Okay, so I know that's one of the questions that has been coming up quite frequently from our admitted international students. And feel free, if there are other questions, to just plop them in the Q&A box and we will answer them at the end. How will ISSS support me if I start my program outside of the United States? If we can go to the next slide. And on this slide, you also see a link to the frequently asked questions page on our website. I encourage you to review that link. We are updating that frequently and as we learn more. Okay, so next slide, please. So we do have, ISSS does have a program called Global Spartan Welcome. So it is a supplement to the regular graduate student orientation. For graduate student orientation, you would need to contact Graduate Studies, and there's the email. Global Spartan Welcome, or short, we call it GSW, is designed just for international students. There's no fee to attend, and it's an opportunity to connect with our staff, with the entire ISSS team, who will be supporting you throughout your tenure here at SJSU. Other international students, global leaders, helping you with cultural transitions, and of course, alerting you of how to maintain your F1 status. Could I have the next slide, please? So the Global Spartan Welcome is going to be entirely virtual in fall because, as I mentioned, SJSU will be mostly online with some hybrid classes. There is a listing of the times and dates when we will be holding GSW. We will have a special session for new Global Spartans abroad, so that could be all of you who are in this session, and you do need to register for it. I do encourage you that hopefully you will decide to enroll in online classes and to participate in that Zoom session because it is a great way for you to connect with your peers here at SJSU. Next slide, please. And beyond Global Spartan Welcome, we will be hosting a slew of optional online events in August and September to help you transition to SJSU and life in the United States. We will include in there strategies for online learning, for example, because I do know that there is an extra layer of challenge for some of our international students, but really focusing on providing you with tips and strategies.